Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to give you guys a 1 year update on my husband and I living in the house from living in the motel room. I was just going to sit here and chit chat with you guys on actual updates, but I thought it would be a little bit more fun to give you just pros and cons of how we think about the the difference of living in the motel room than living in a house. There's a lot that I actually thought of, but I didn't want to make it too long, so I only picked a few. But I wrote down in my book a list of pros and cons. So the first one that I thought of for pros was more space. We definitely have more space in a house than we do in one small square bedroom motel, for sure. And I absolutely love it. To me, right now, we're getting a little too cluttered because there's 5 people in the house and it's been a whole year since we lived here all together. So we definitely gained some more things. And it's bound to happen, of course, with 2 kids and 3 adults. But I'm just so happy that it's in the house and not in a motel room because I would go insane if it was. But having more space, even just for me and my husband, is like a big, big change. And we definitely took that advantage from not having the space and had way too much crap in the motel room. But now we have all that crap plus more because now we're taking advantage of having the space that we did not have before for 4 years. 4 years in that motel room. You gain a lot of stuff for 4 years. But having more space is definitely a plus. The first one for cons, I put for less privacy. And that's because, like I said, there's 5 people in the house and 2 kids, 2 teenagers, one 17, almost 18, and one 13. And then my husband and my sister-in-law. So for me, I feel like I definitely have less privacy. When the kids are in school, it's a little bit better. But my husband is working at home now, and my sister-in-law is pretty much here a lot of the times. But it's just a lot different from just my husband and I and living in the motel room, because when we lived in the motel room, he was at work during the day and I got the whole place to myself all day, which was really nice. And I got to have lunch by myself. I got to watch what I wanted on TV. I got to blast my music. I got to clean the way I wanted to, just having that privacy, having that space with no one knocking on your door every 5 minutes. If you have kids, I know you know what I'm talking about. But having less privacy is definitely a con. I miss it. I really do. But we were even thinking about keeping the motel room when we first moved in here last year, just to have that extra privacy if one of us kind of wanted to run away and take a day or two to ourselves. But in reality, we knew that we couldn't afford it. So of course we did it. That was just a want. So, but yeah, less privacy is definitely on my top. For pros, the second one I picked was getting to have my pets. You don't get to have your pets in the motel room, or at least not the one that I lived in. I don't know if that's for all motel rooms, but the one that I lived in, I think you were only allowed to have a fish or a bird, which I think was kind of weird because birds are very loud and messy and smelly and just obnoxious. At least for living in the motel room. But that was the landlord's choices of pets. But we never got any pets except little kittens that came to our door one time, but we never kept them, only for just a couple days. Well, sorry, somebody was calling me. but we only kept them for like a couple days, so that was kind of fun. But I did really miss my dogs from my mother-in-law's house. So it's really nice to have them. And now we have a cat. So we definitely are blessed to be able to have our pets with us and pretty much have any kind of pets we want because we live in our own home. But it was really lonely not having our dogs, our two chihuahuas, and now our cat that we just got, I think, last year during like Thanksgiving, Christmas time. So he's still kind of new. I mean, newest one of the family, but it's been really nice to have our doggies back. So that's definitely a pro, yeah, a pro. Um, the second one for cons is more bills. That should have been my first one. Um, definitely more bills is definitely a con. When we lived in the motel room, I only had rent to take care of. So for my second con, I put more bills. I should have put this for my first con. That should have been like number one top. But having more bills definitely is a con. You don't have many bills when you're in a motel room, or like before, at least not the motel room that I lived in. I only had to pay rent every week, and our cell phone bills, gas, car insurance, stuff like that, like our personal bills. But just for the motel room, it was just rent, and everything else came in one. The cable and the internet and water and all that was included in the bills or in the rent. So it didn't really seem like it was that much that we were dealing with. But now that we are in the house, it's a whole list of bills. And I was expecting it. I knew it was a lot different. I was not looking forward to it, but I was expecting it. But I had lived in a house before with my sister, and that was a little overwhelming, but she actually paid most of the bills and did all the work and stuff. But now I do all the work and pay all the bills and do all the paperwork and all that stuff. So it's definitely a lot more than just living in the motel room. I kind of miss being able to just pay my rent on Friday and then that's it. Not have to worry about it like every bill throughout the month, and making sure it's on time and making sure we have enough money and all that stuff. Oh, it's just stressful. So that's definitely a con. Number 3 for pros. When we lived in the motel room, our motel rooms were like on right next to each other in like basically the same building. And you could hear everything that the person was doing pretty much. You can hear them breathe, you can hear them snore, you can hear them go to the bathroom, and that was really annoying. Sometimes you can just like space it out because we lived there for so long, but sometimes when you're really concentrating on it, or you're quiet, your room is quiet or something, you can hear them flush the toilet or like I said, you can hear them snore or something. So they were like living wall to wall. There was like 5 rooms, I think, and there was this like room, so it was like attached to each other, and that was really annoying. I really hate that. I don't even like the houses that are like right next to each other where you can like see the person go to the bathroom in your window. Like I cannot handle that. So I really like being in a neighborhood where we have our own yard, our own land, I guess, or land, and you had to like walk to the next neighbor, unlike in the motel room where you can hear the person flush the toilet. So that was definitely a con. I think I accidentally put that under pros as now as I see that, which I don't know how I did that, but that was definitely a con, not a pro. So I messed that up, but definitely a con for living way too close to your neighbor. Let's see. So another pro that I put down is being able to take care of the kids. I know a lot of you know the story of us taking care of his nieces and his sister, and all that. And I am very blessed to be able to be the ones that take care of them, because if we weren't here, they could have been in a lot worse situation or even split up from each other. And I really don't want that, because they've been together their whole lives. And it was definitely a big change, and it still is a big change, but I'm glad that we were the ones that took charge and taking care of them. So to me, that's a pro, but it's also a con as well. I listed both. I listed a pro and a con for having the kids, because one, less privacy, having to take care of them. Their lives are basically in our hands, because their mom is still here. Like, she lives with us and everything, but like I said, she had the stroke in 2015 and stuff, so there's only so much that she can do. She can't ever be like fully independent anymore, or make like very important decisions or anything, and they come to us with like every little thing. And which I get it, because we're fully capable of making those like decisions, or making decisions. And it's hard, because I never pictured myself in this position where I had another life in my care to take care of and make sure they're okay, and they're living, and they're not hurt, and they're healthy, and just everything and every decision I make is it wrong? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it good? It's a little stressful, but so that's why I put it under cons and pros, because I'm very blessed that we're the ones that are taking care of them, instead of other people that was in the situation to be able to take care of them, if that makes sense. But so it's a hit and miss for that one. I love them to death, like they're my own kids, and it's just a lot of work and a big change, and never pictured myself being a mom, a caregiver, caretaker. I don't know, I can never get those right. Is it a caretaker or a caregiver? I think I'm the caregiver, since I'm the one taking care, or no, I'm the caretaker. I can never remember, but I'm one of those. I take care of them. My husband takes care of them, and I'm very happy that we do, but it is a lot of work. So, moving on from that one, let's see. Another pro is I'm never bored. And when I do have a chance to have like a chance to be by myself and all that, do what I want to do, lay down, it's because I want to, not because I'm bored out of my mind, like I would have gotten or would get in the motel room, because it's only so much you can do when you live in a motel room. But having the house, you're always busy, you're always cleaning, you're always making sure everything is right, you're always, especially when you have a family, you're always making sure they're okay. And it's just stressful just talking about it. But I like it because it keeps me busy, and it's never really a dull moment. But I like it. Yeah, I like it more than I dislike it, I think. So I hope I made sense on that one. A con is having my own yard. This is a con and a pro, as I put them under both, because I love being able to have my own yard, and being able to have the garden that we have, and being able to do what we want with it, and how we take care of it. But it is also a lot of work to have time to mow, and I can't mow. I can't physically mow the yard or anything, so I have to wait for somebody that can mow the yard. But it's a lot of work to take care of. And we also have a pool that, like not an in-ground pool, but one of those round off on the ground pools. So we have one of those, and that's a lot to take care of, which we haven't really been taking care of the best way that we should. But that's like the last thing on our minds. Excuse me. So pros and cons for yard, I believe that's under both. And I love being able to have the garden and having that extra space to have extra places to go sit and relax and all that, to be able to have our own yard to do that, because we didn't have that in the motel room. So, or when we lived in the motel. So let's see, what's the other one? Oh, another pro is having a kitchen. This is probably one of my top 5 pros, is having a kitchen. It's not the best kitchen. We're wanting to remodel when we have the time and money, especially when we have the money. But I love having a kitchen, because when we lived in the motel room, we didn't have a kitchen. We had a table with a couple hot plates, a toaster oven, and we didn't even have, I don't even think we had a microwave. We had a mini college dorm room fridge until we got the bigger size up fridge from my aunt, but it was not a kitchen. We had to do our dishes in the bathroom sink or in the bathtub or outside. And that was ridiculous. I did not like it. It was a lot of more work than it should have been. But having a kitchen is amazing, and definitely do not take advantage that you forget what you have. It's just amazing to have it back. A stove, an oven, a sink, a counter, to do stuff on, a dishwasher. A dishwasher is amazing. We actually didn't have a dishwasher for a few months when we first moved in here, but my husband fixed the one that we did have, and it is amazing. I can actually do the dishes, and it's awesome. I freaking love having a kitchen. Even though it's not the best, I don't even care. It's just being able to have one and have more space and do what we got to do to cook dinner and stuff. It's just amazing. So that's definitely a pro. Let's see. Oh, for a con, I would say when you have a house, even if you own it or renting it, when something breaks, like the dishwasher, most of the time you got to take care of that yourself, unless you have like a landlord or something. But we pay mortgage and everything, so we don't have a landlord. So if something breaks in our house, we got to fix it ourselves with our own money, or figure it out how to fix it. And that is can be very stressful and very expensive. Our dishwasher, we were pretty lucky. We didn't have to replace it. We only had to buy, I don't even know if we had to buy anything. I think my husband had pretty much everything he needed to fix it. So we got very lucky on that one. But we did have to replace our stove, and that was almost $200. But I think my husband had pretty much everything that he needed to fix the dishwasher, so we got pretty lucky with that one. But the stove, we had to replace the stove the middle of last year, or maybe during the summer, I think. And that was about $200 or almost $200. And it took us a little while to save up for that. So that felt like really daunting. Like, that was, I picked it out, I did the homework, I did the research and all that, and I never had to do something like that before, because we never lived in our own home before. So, but that was very adulting for me. But it was a little stressful because we had to save up for the money, and we didn't have a stove for a little while and stuff, so we had to use our old hot plate. So yeah, so when you live in a home, most of the time you have to replace your things that breaks, like your appliances and everything, on your own, and with your own money, unless you have a landlord, or at least in my experience anyways. In my situation, we have to pay for our own stuff, unfortunately, but that's just how it is. So that's definitely a con. Or yeah, a con. Another pro is getting to do my own laundry when I want to. Okay, this is like one of the biggest pros I can think of. because when we lived in the motel room, we didn't have a washer and dryer. We didn't have a laundry room. The motel itself didn't even have a laundry room. And when we first moved in the motel room, we didn't have a car, so we couldn't even go to like a laundromat in town or something, you know. So in our town that we live in, we don't have a laundromat, so we would have had to gone to another town. And at the time when we first moved in there, we didn't have a car. So I had to ride my bike with my laundry basket full of heavy laundry to my mother-in-law's house, to the house that we live in now, or to my brother's house that is actually not far from my mother-in-law's house. Like, it's like right down the road, to do my laundry. And I would have to ask them if their washer and dryer is available. I had to even bring my own soap. I mean, I didn't have to, but I did because, you know, they were letting me do my laundry at their house. I couldn't do it on my own terms when I wanted to. I couldn't wash my bed sheets when I wanted to, but now I'm able to do it whenever I want. I can do it at 10 o'clock at night and be done at midnight, or I can do it at 6 o'clock in the morning and already have it done and not have to wait. I have a basket of laundry right here that we did last night at like 10 o'clock last night. And it just feels so good to not have to ride my bike with a full basket of laundry clothes on the back of my back and going up hills and down hills, and it's freaking heavy. And especially with my back, it was just too much, and I had to ride it in the heat or the rain, or if it did all of a sudden rain, I would have to put like a bag over the basket, or it was ridiculous. Or I had to wait to get it done, and then we would be out of dirty or clean clothes, and it was just too much. I really did not like having a washer and dryer. If I had to pick out of having a washer and dryer or a dishwasher, I would definitely pick wanting a washer and dryer, just because it's just so much easier to handle, being able to do your laundry whenever you want to. Dishwasher, I can wash my dishes by hand. I don't mind doing that. It's a lot of work, but you know, whatever, it gets it done. But if you don't have a washer or dryer, what do? You gotta either wash them in the tub, which we've done before, and hang them up, but that takes forever for them to dry. Which, like I said, we've done before, and I did not like it. So comment down below which one you would rather live without, a washer and dryer or a dishwasher. I would be very interested to know y'all's comments on that. The last thing I put for cons is more responsibility. And that comes with everything: more bills, more responsibility to do with the house, the yard, making sure all our appliances work, and more cleaning, a lot more cleaning, which I like because there's more space to be able to clean. But yeah, it's just a lot more responsibility, especially when you have a family and a big house. We have, 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, is what we have. And we turned the old dining room into a bedroom as well. So it's a pretty good sized house. It's old. I think it was built in the 70s, as I remember them telling me. Yeah, because my husband has been living here for a long time. I think he was not born in the house, but you know, he came home from the hospital and he's lived here since he was born, on and off, of course. But yeah, it's definitely a lot more responsibility. Like I said, more bills, more like yard to take care of, just everything all in one. So that's a con, but also a pro, because as now I think about it, because I've learned a lot. Definitely, especially this past year, I learned a lot to learn how to take care of a house, learning to know what to look for when things start to go bad, as in the utilities, or not utilities, the appliances and stuff. So I definitely learned a lot. So it's pros and cons, I guess. The last pros that I put was my husband and I don't have to be on top of each other anymore. This was probably should have been one of my top fives as well, because when we lived in a motel room, we were, besides when he was like at work, we were pretty much on top of each other all the time. We saw each other all the time, which is, it's not a bad thing, but you know, you like your own space, you like your own me time, you know. And just because you're married doesn't mean you have to be on top of each other all the time. And I'm not talking like actually physically on top of each other, but like being in the same room, being in like your bubble space. Sometimes you just like your you time, and I am a person that loves my me time. So like right now, he's in the living room. The living room. We didn't have a living room in the motel room. I'm in the bedroom. I'm getting to film by myself without him being in the bed and having to like wait till he leaves or something. So it's just very nice to have more rooms to go to, and I can be in the bedroom by myself all day, and he can be in the living room, and we'll actually kind of miss each other. So it's very cool to be able to have our own space and not have to be on top of each other. That's the only way I can explain it, on top of each other all the time. But so I really like that. That's definitely a pro to me. But yeah, I am getting a brain fart all of a sudden. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video, and I hope it made sense. I felt like I've been kind of like rambling a little bit on all my pros and cons, but I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and that way you can be notified every time I upload. If you press the little bell as well up there, and you can be welcome to our little family. And please let me know in the comments below any videos in the future you would like me to film, and I will definitely do that for you. And please let me know which one you would rather live without, a washer, dryer, or a dishwasher, because I would really like to know. My take would be I would have to have a washer and dryer, and I could live without a dishwasher if I really had to. I mean, it's really nice to have, but I think I could live without it, as long as I have a kitchen to be able to do my dishes instead of a bathroom sink, because that was not cool. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.